Well, it was a great ball game, obviously. The thing I will remember years from now is the environment. I think in my time here, that was the most fun environment that we've had. That crowd was unbelievable tonight. They were loud. They were into every inning. Every time we got two strikes, they started clapping. It was tremendous. And that kept us in the game and gave us a huge lift. So shoot, we even got the wave going at one point. So just a tremendous environment. And I thought it was awesome for our guys to see that. And I think we had some recruits in the stands. Great for them to see that as well. I hope I'm allowed to say that by NCAA rules.
All right, we'll start with Dave.
We won't tell. Mark, not to put too fine a point on it, but do you feel that tomorrow pretty much says a win equals an NCAA regional host?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not on the committee, but it would seem that would be the case. Our RPI just checked it up to the minute. Is at 12 right now after that game tonight. So obviously it's within striking distance now, and now it's a matter of playing great baseball tomorrow and let the chips fall where they may. But we've put ourselves in a great position, and tomorrow should be a lot of fun. And our guys need to come out and just leave it all out there on the field.
Colin?
Mark, are you kind of running out of ways to describe what Brett Kerry's been able to do for you guys the last 2 weeks?
Well, he's tremendous again, clearly. Didn't throw the shutout like he did last week, but, obviously this is one of the best hitting teams in the country. They're very old. They're very experienced. They're very talented. They take good at bats. They pressure you with speed and power. So to have another outing like he did tonight, 8 strikeouts, 0 walks. And again, that's the key. When we don't walk people, we tend to not give up runs. It's pretty simple formula. So he did a great job with that. And Bosnick obviously was just as good after that with no walks and 1 hit in 2 innings. So pitching was the story today. Defense was really good behind it. And then obviously Brady Allen had the big hit, the big home run after we got a bunt down. Finally got the bunt down. And sometimes it's amazing how the momentum of playing the game properly, you get rewarded, and we got rewarded with the 3-run homer there.
Ben?
Mark, I think it was the 7th inning. Brett came out and had runners on 2nd and 3rd and worked out of it. Just from your perspective in the dugout, what are you seeing from him in moments like that? And what does he do to be able to get through those and fight through those moments?
Well, big guts for one, big heart. He's got the stuff to go along with it. And he's just an assassin. He really is. He's an assassin out there. When guys got to 2nd and 3rd, we had a decision to make clearly. We had Boz all ready to go in the bullpen, and it's a strikeout situation. And we both looked at each other and said, no, this is for him. He's going to get himself out of this. And if he doesn't, we'll be able to live with that. But we're not going to take the ball out of Brett Kerry's hands at that point. He's earned that over 3 years. And obviously we all know what he did. He got out of it some way, somehow he got out of it because of who he is.
John?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that 7th inning, but Julio Bosnick came in after that and was really good in the 8th and the 9th. What did you see out of him that made him so dominant?
Well, it was the command. He tends to have his best command in the short bursts, and that proved true again today. He got 6 outs for us. We were hoping to not have to bring him in the 7th because you could ask a closer to give you an extra inning, but when you ask him to sit down twice and have to pitch in parts of 3 innings, sometimes that's a little more challenging for most closers. And so we didn't want to have to overuse Boz today. We wanted to get him in for max of 2 innings, and Brett Kerry getting out of that 7th inning like he did allowed us to do that. But Boz was Boz. It was fastball 92 to 94 downhill. He had his command, had the breaking ball for strikes, which is key. When he has his breaking ball for strikes, then it makes the fastball that much harder to square up. So, and again, he had very good poise out there, fielded his position really well with confidence on that ball back to him. And he was the total package out there today.
Dave?
Mark, speaking of Boz, just what was the decision to go to him instead of maybe a Sanders or a Lloyd? Was that something you guys decided before the game?
Yeah, Bosnick is our closer right now, and Sanders and Lloyd and Peters and those guys complement him. But obviously we feel very comfortable with Will Sanders closing out a game as well because he has twice in the last week. It's a pretty nice luxury when you have multiple guys you feel like can get the job done. But Bosnick has been in that role longer, so he earned and deserved the right to get the ball tonight.
Colin?
Mark, it seems like when Brady's on for you guys tend to do well. Take us through the at-bat there, and how cool was that moment when he hit it and the crowd kind of came to life really for the first time in that game?
Yeah, well, Colin, I'll disagree. The crowd came to life many
Yeah,
times.
the biggest cheer of the night at that point.
Yeah,
Sorry,
talk your way out of that one, Colin.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm a journalist. That's what we do. Sorry.
I know. Never confuse a good story with the truth. No, it was huge. It was huge. He worked a good at bat after we got the bunt down and got guys in the scoring position. Obviously, you're thinking more hit there than you are home run, but he got a hanging breaking ball. It was a slider, I'm pretty sure. And we've been stressing to our guys, stop letting hanging sliders go. We've been taking too many hanging sliders, because that's what can be done with hanging sliders. If you square them up, if you don't pull off, you can drive hanging sliders just as much as you can fastballs. So it's something we've been stressing to the guys. And I think it was the third pitch of the at-bat. I can't exactly remember, but I think it was the third pitch of the at-bat, and he was ready. He was ready to swing the bat, and obviously he did. And he hit it the way you're supposed to hit it, because it stayed true. It didn't curl down the line. As a lot of times you see guys hit the ball in that area, and it'll curl around or before it gets to the foul pole. And he hit it true with true 12-6 backspin, which is what you want to see out of good hitters. So just a great swing, great results for us, and obviously that was the difference in the ball game.
Cam?
Coach, you've talked about Jeff Heinrich having a great attitude, being a great team guy, even though he hasn't had the personal success he's wanted this season. Seeing him make that play, going over the railing, kind of sacrificing his body, does that kind of encapsulate what he's brought to the team this year? Absolutely.
That was probably one of the better defensive plays we've made all year. One of the plays that you could say may be on SportsCenter tonight. And he gave up his body for the team, and that's what we ask guys. We tell them, when you're in a pennant race like we are, you've got to do whatever you can for your teammates, for your brothers. That means wearing a ball off the chest. That means, big fastball comes inside, you don't get out of the way. You have to be willing to do those things, obviously within reason. We're not asking anybody to get hurt. We're just asking them to play the game in a very tough manner, in a winning manner, and he did that. It was a tremendous play. It reminds you of Willie Mays over the shoulder, and then he ran into the stands and got up quick and got the ball in. So tremendous play from a hard-nosed kid.
Ben?
Mark, you mentioned the crowd. Just when this place is full tilt and going like it was tonight, what does that do for you guys as a ball club, and how much does that give you guys just kind of juice or energy in the dugout?
It's just so fun. It's when you get a big hit and you hear the crowd, that just elevates everything about the experience. When for a lot of the year, when very few fans could come out, you get a big hit and it was quiet. And I know the big leagues went through that last year, and now you get a big hit. You can't hear yourself talk, and you've got to yell to each other in the dugout so we could hear each other. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And glad we could give that moment to the fans, and we thank the fans for giving that moment back to us.
We'll go David and Colin. Dave, you're on mute.
Mark, how's George Khalil doing?
He'll be day to day. We'll see how he is tomorrow. Just a core injury. He aggravated it last night on a couple plays. So he's day to day. So we'll see how he feels in the morning. Again, I think Michael Robinson is filling in, and we're not missing a beat. So whether Michael or George play tomorrow, I think we have equal chance to win a game.
Mark, you mentioned how fun this environment is and the fact that you had some recruits here, not asking you to get in trouble with the NCAA, but just how important is that for recruiting to be able to kind of market that and this crowd and this fan base as you get into this?
It's huge, because that's what our league is. You go all around the league and you look at the stadiums and the environments and the atmospheres. That's what we got to have if we're going out there to recruit the best players in the country, which we are. This is the environment you want to be able to show them. And so tonight was us, at a very high level on the field and in the stands. And so it was a lot of fun.